Most people watch Erling Haaland and only see the goals. I watch Haaland and see something much deeper. I see hunger. I see obsession. I see a man who doesn't need to touch the ball 100 times to change the game. He can be quiet for 70 minutes, then one movement, one run, one finish, and suddenly the entire match belongs to him. And honestly, that is one of the biggest lessons in real estate, business, and life. Because most people think success is about being busy. Haaland teaches us success is about being lethal when the moment arrives. My name is Peter. I'm the co-founder of Plus Agency, one of Australia's top real estate agencies, judge of the Asia Property Awards and member of Forbes Club. And as a real estate business owner, I love studying athletes like Haaland because elite sport reveals the same truth as business. Talent matters. But hunger, timing, discipline, positioning and execution matter more. Haaland was born in Leeds, England, while his father, Alfie Haaland, was playing professional football. But he grew up in Bryne, a small town in Norway. And I love that part of his story, because Haaland didn't come from the glamour first. He came from a small place. Bryne was not Madrid, it was not Manchester, it was not a global football capital. But sometimes, coming from a smaller place gives you something dangerous. It gives you hunger. It gives you the feeling that nobody is coming to save you. It teaches you to build yourself before the world notices you. And that is exactly what real estate feels like in the beginning. Nobody cares about your dream. Nobody cares that you want to become successful. Nobody cares that you want to build a business, buy property, make money, change your family's future, or prove yourself. In the beginning, you were just like a young Haaland at Bryne, training, waiting, working, nobody clapping yet, nobody calling you world class yet, just repetition. And that is where most people lose. They want the Manchester City moment before they survive the Bryne years. But Haaland's story reminds us that every global superstar has a local beginning. Before the Premier League records, before the Champions League nights, before the trophies, before the robot celebration, before the world called him a monster, he was a kid from Bryne, learning how to move, how to finish, how to become dangerous. And here is the first business lesson from Haaland. You don't need the whole world to believe in you at the beginning. You just need to keep developing until they can't ignore you. When Haaland went to Mould, he was still developing. Then Salzburg. That was where the world started paying attention. He didn't just arrive quietly, he exploded. In the Champions League, on his debut, he scored a first half hat-trick. That is not normal. That is not luck. That is what happens when years of invisible work finally meet a visible stage. And in real estate, I've seen this so many times. People look at a successful agent after they win a listing, close a big deal, or become well known, and they say, wow, they came out of nowhere. No, they did not come out of nowhere. You just weren't watching when they were doing the boring work. You weren't watching when they were making calls. You weren't watching when buyers ignored them. You weren't watching when they were learning scripts, handling rejection, building databases, turning up to inspections, following up, failing, improving, and coming back again. Haaland didn't become Haaland on the night he scored the hat-trick. He revealed Haaland on that night. That is the difference. Success is not created in the public moment. It is revealed in the public moment. Then came Dortmund, and this is where Haaland became more than a striker. He became a statement. The speed, the power, the directness, the way he attacked space like he was personally offended by defenders. And this is what I love about Haaland. He doesn't try to play like everyone else. He knows exactly what he is. He is not trying to be Messi. He is not trying to be Neymar. He is not trying to be a midfielder, a winger, a showman, or a highlight machine every touch. He is a finisher. He is direct. He is brutal. He is clear. And that is a huge lesson for business. Most people fail because they try to be everything. They copy everyone. They see one person doing luxury branding, so they copy that. They see another person doing comedy videos, so they copy that. They see someone else doing motivational content, so they copy that. But Haaland teaches the opposite. Know your weapon, then sharpen it until the world fears it. In real estate, you don't need to be every type of agent. You don't need to be the funniest, you don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to be the flashiest. You need to know your strength and become impossible to ignore in that lane. Some agents are great prospectors, some are great negotiators, some are great marketers, some are great relationship builders, some are great at high-end property, some are great with first home buyers, some are great with developers. But the dangerous ones are the ones who know who they are. Haaland knows who he is. That is why he looks so simple. But simple at an elite level is terrifying. Then Manchester City happened. A lot of people questioned whether he would fit into Pep Guardiola's system. They said City didn't play with a striker like that. They said he might make them worse. They said the Premier League would be too physical. And then he scored 36 league goals in one season and broke the Premier League record. That is the second big lesson. When you are truly elite, people will still question you. Don't expect success to remove criticism. Sometimes success attracts more criticism. Haaland was scoring goals and people still found ways to question him. He doesn't touch the ball enough. He only scores goals. He doesn't create. He makes City too predictable. Imagine criticising a striker for scoring too many goals. But this is exactly what happens in business. When you start failing, people judge you. When you start winning, people judge you differently. So if you are waiting for a stage where everyone approves of you, you will wait forever. Haaland teaches us something very important. Let the scoreboard speak. In real estate, your scoreboard is not noise. It is not gossip. It is not who talks the most. It is listings. It is trust. It is follow-up. It is client results. It is deals exchanged. It is reputation built over time. You don't need to answer every critic. You need to keep finishing. And this is where Haaland's game becomes a life lesson. He can go quiet in a match, but he never switches off. That is the difference between average and elite. Average people need constant involvement to feel useful. Elite people understand timing. Haaland may not touch the ball for a long period, but he is watching, he is moving, he is waiting, he is pulling defenders, he is preparing for the one moment that matters. And when that moment arrives, he is ready. That is exactly how business works. Sometimes you work for months and nothing happens. No deal, no big breakthrough, no applause, no result. But you cannot switch off, because one conversation can change everything. One follow-up can create a listing. One buyer can become a client. One client can become a referral source. One opportunity can change your whole year, but only if you are still mentally in the game when the ball finally comes. Most people miss their chance, not because they don't have opportunity. They miss it because when opportunity arrives, they are no longer prepared. Haaland is always ready for the ball. That is why he scores. And in business, you must be the same. Always ready for the call. Always ready for the meeting. Always ready for the negotiation. Always ready for the moment when your years of preparation finally get tested. There is another part of Haaland I really respect. His obsession with recovery, routine and body. People joke about him being a machine, but machines are not built by accident. He has built a lifestyle around performance. Food, sleep, training, recovery, mentality. Even the funny clips, the calm interviews, the meditation style celebration, the farm boy energy, the stay humble feeling, there is something very real about him. He is not trying to look busy. He is trying to stay ready. And this is where a lot of entrepreneurs and real estate agents get it wrong. They think grinding means destroying themselves. No sleep, no health, no structure, always tired, always reacting, always stressed. But the best performers don't just work hard, they protect the body and mind that does the work. If you want to build a long career, you cannot treat yourself like a disposable machine. Haaland's power comes from preparation. But preparation is not just training harder, it is recovering smarter. It is living with intention. It is building a life that supports performance. That is business too, because if your body is broken, your emotion becomes unstable. If your emotion is unstable, your decision making becomes weak. If your decision making is weak, your business suffers. That is why high performance is not just about ambition, it is about maintenance. Now, let's talk about the moment every Haaland fan remembers, the 2019 Under-20 World Cup. Norway beat Honduras 12-0. Haaland scored 9 goals. 9. Most players dream of scoring 9 goals in a month. He scored 9 in one match. But here's the part. Norway didn't even go on to win the tournament. But that one performance changed how the world looked at him. That is a powerful lesson. Sometimes one moment can change your reputation forever, but only if you have been preparing for years before that moment arrives. In real estate, this might be one listing presentation, one auction, one developer meeting, one client who gives you a chance, one video that finally goes viral, one speech, one deal, one opportunity. And when that moment comes, people will think you are lucky, but you will know the truth. You were not lucky, you were ready. That is the Haaland lesson. Be ready before the world is watching. Then, when the world finally watches, don't explain, finish. And maybe this is why Haaland fans connect with him so strongly, because he feels different. He doesn't need to be the most polished celebrity. He doesn't need to pretend to be perfect. He is direct, a little weird, funny, powerful, focused, sometimes awkward, sometimes robotic. sometimes completely unstoppable, and that makes him human and superhuman at the same time. He is not trying to win everyone with words, he wins with output. And for anyone building a business, that is a beautiful reminder. You do not need to be understood by everyone. You do not need to be liked by everyone. You do not need to explain every move. You need to know your role, do your work, stay hungry, and when the chance comes, finish. Because life gives everyone chances, but not everyone is ready. Business gives everyone openings, but not everyone has the discipline. Real estate gives everyone freedom, but not everyone has the hunger to survive it. Haaland's story is not just about football, it is about becoming dangerous through simplicity. Know your position, master your movement, protect your energy, ignore the noise, stay humble, stay hungry, and finish when the moment arrives. So if you are a Haaland fan, you already know this. The beauty of Haaland is not just the goals, it is the feeling that whenever he is on the pitch, something can happen at any moment. That is what every business owner should want. That is what every real estate agent should become. The person who may be quiet for a while, but when the opportunity comes, everyone knows they can finish. If this video made you think differently about football, business, real estate, or life, comment one word below: hunger. Send this to a Haaland fan, a young real estate agent, a salesperson, or someone trying to build their own business. Because Haaland's story reminds us of something powerful. You don't need to touch the ball every minute to change the game. You just need to be ready when the ball comes. Like this video, subscribe for more sports-inspired lessons about business, real estate, and success. And remember this, the world doesn't reward the person who talks about being ready. It rewards the person who finishes when the moment arrives.